Children, good morning everybody. This is Standard 6, Subject Science, Chapter number 4, Sorting Materials into Groups. As you all know, I am your Rita teacher, Rita Bhatt, and today we will start with the new chapter, chapter number 4, that is Sorting Materials into Groups. Well, children, what is the meaning of sort? S-O-R-T. Sorting means what? Well, sorting, that is classifying or specifying. Classifying materials into groups. We have to study in this chapter the materials that are sorted out into groups. First of all, we will read the chapter. Everybody, pencil in your hand. 4.1 Objects around us. We have seen that our food and clothes have so much variety in them. Not just food and clothes, there is such a vast variety of objects everywhere. We see around us a chair, a bullock cart, a cycle, cooking utensils, books, clothes, toys, water, stones, and many other objects. All these objects have different shapes, colors, and uses. Yes, children, you have to underline as it is seen. Look around and identify objects that are round in shape. Our list may include a rubber ball, a football, and a glass marble. If we include objects that are nearly round, our list could also include objects like apples, oranges, and an earthen pitcher, that is gada. Suppose we were looking for objects that are edible. We might include all the items that we have listed in tables 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3 in chapter 1. We might also find that some of those round shaped objects we just listed out are also in this group. Let us say we wish to make a group of objects that are made of plastics, buckets, lunch boxes, toys, water containers, pipes, and many such objects may find a place in this group. There are so many ways to group objects. In the above examples, we have grouped objects on the basis of their shape or the materials they are made from. All objects around us are made of one or more materials. These materials may be glass, metal, plastics, wooden, cotton, paper, mud, or soil. Can you think of more examples of materials? Well, children, in this chapter, in these paragraphs, it is said that our things that are made that we can see around us, here examples are given: chair, bullock cart, cycle, cooking utensils, books, clothes, toys, water, stones, many objects are there around us. We have to look around us and we have to identify these objects according to their shapes. Here we have to identify the objects that are round in shape. Yes, children, can you name the objects that are round in shape? Yes, football, apple, orange, earthen pitcher, that is kada in which the water is filled. जिसमें पानी भरा जाता है उसको बोलते हैं अर्थन pitcher. जो मटका होता है माटी का छोटा वाला होता है, सो इट इज नोन एज घड़ा. And now, in this third paragraph, it is said that we are wishing to make a group of objects that are made up of plastics. Yes, children, can you name some plastic items? Yes, buckets, lunch boxes, water bottles, toys, pipes, and there are so many objects that are made up of plastic. Now, we are grouping these objects on the basis of their shape or the materials they are made from. Yes, children, in the second paragraph, we grouped them. We found the objects that were round in shape. And now, in third paragraph, we are finding the objects that are made from plastic. So, it is said that we have grouped these objects according to their the first one was according to the shape, round shape, that were apple, orange, earthen pitcher, right? The football, all these things were round in shape. And next we grouped was according to the material they were made of. Which material did we decided? Plastic. Yes, the material here was used is plastic. The things that are made from plastics are the toys, lunchbox, plastic buckets, water containers, pipes, etc. etc. So, all objects around us are made of one or more materials. These materials may be glass, metal, plastics, wood, cotton, paper, mud, or soil. So, children, each and everything that are around us are made up of one or more than one material. Even the pencil that you are having in your hand is made up of, yes, can anybody say? Made up of wood. And the point, the black color point that is inside your pencil, that is made up of graphite, right? And the book in which you are underlining, from which you are reading at present, sorry, that book is containing pages that are made up from trees. And the letters that are printed in your book, yes, ink, right? So many things are made from one or more things. We will study all these things in detail further in this chapter. Now comes activity 1. Let us collect as many objects as possible from around us. Each of us would get some everyday objects from home, and we could also collect some objects from the classroom or from outside the school. What will we have in our collection? Chalk, pencil, notebook, rubber, duster, a hammer, nail, soap, spoke of a wheel, bat. Well, children, here we have to collect some things from our home, some things in our classroom, and something outside our classroom, that means from our school, and some outside the school. Well, children, here a list is given. As you can see, we have collected chalk, pencil, notebook, rubber, duster, hammer. Hammer, that is hathodi. Nail, that is khili, keel. Soap, that is sabun. Spoke of a wheel. Well, children, spoke of a wheel, that is the bicycle wheel में जो होते हैं, जो spoke होते हैं. Yes, you have all got the bicycle. हाँ, तो उसमें जो स्पोक होते हैं, सपोजिंग दिस इज द व्हील ऑफ बाइसिकल, एंड हियर दिस आर known as the spokes of bicycle. Bat, now we'll turn on, we'll go on page number 27 and we'll continue. Bat, matchbox, salt, potato. We can also list objects that we can think of but cannot bring to the classroom. For example, wall, trees, doors, tractor, road. Well, children, can we bring these things to classroom? Walls, trees, doors, tractor, road. No, we cannot. But we can think about these things. Now what we have to do is we have to separate all these objects from this collection that are made from paper or wood. Now the things we have collected, we have to separate it on the basis of the things they are made from. Some may be made of paper, some may be made up of wood. This way we have divided all objects into two groups. One group has the objects that are made from paper or wood, while the other group has the objects that are not made of these materials. Similarly, we would separate the things that are used for preparing food. Now, let us be a little more systematic. List all objects collected in table 4.1. Yes, as you can see here, this is in table 4.1. These are the objects that are around us. As you can see here, this is the glass tumbler, this is plier, these are the toys. Here you can see compass, this is compass box, gloves, a paperweight, again toy, lock and key, remote, CD. There are many things in this figure 4.1. Now what we have to do is we have to be a little systematic and we have to identify these materials according to the materials that is used in preparing making of them. Now it may seem difficult to find out the materials out of which some of these objects are made. In such cases, discuss with your friends, teacher and parents to identify the materials. Now here children, a table is given, table 4.1, objects and the materials they are made up of. Now in first column objects are given and in second column the materials from which they are made up of are given. First one is the plate, that is thali. Well, a thali is made up of maybe from steel, glass or plastic or any other material. The second one is pen. Pen may be made up of plastic or metal. Now there are two blanks, the third one and the fourth one. In the third one you can write any object you wish to. I have written here lunchbox. Lunchbox may be made up of plastic or any other metal. Here I have written steel. Steel is also a type of metal. The next one, the last one is the shoes. Shoes is made up of leather. Now comes activity 2. Table 4.2 lists some common materials. You can also add more materials in column 1 that are known to you. Now try and think of everyday objects you know that are made mainly of these materials and list them in column 2. So children, here again a column is given and we have to, and a material are given, and second column is about the objects. Now in first column materials are given. Let us have a look. The first one is wood. Well, which items are made from wood? Chair, table, plow, bullock cart and its wheels. The next is paper, and from paper books, notebooks, newspaper, toys, calendars, etc. are made from paper. The third one is leather, and the objects that are made of these materials has been left blank for us. So we have to write the things that are made up from leather. Here as you can see, I have written shoes, bags, belts, etc. And the next one is plastics. From plastic, toys, chairs, tables, etc. things are made. From cotton, we can make pillows, mattresses, quilt, etc. things. Now, that was about the table 4.2. What do we find from these tables? First, we grouped objects in many different ways. We then found that objects around us are made of different materials. At times, an object is made of a single material. An object could also be made of many materials. And then again, one material could be used for making many different objects. So children, here it might be seem a bit confusing for you, but let me clear you all. Objects around us are made of different materials. Now children, many objects are made up of only one material, while some objects are made up of more than one material. While many objects can be made from only one material. Well, let me explain you by giving an example. Here, supposing if we take plastic, so only from plastic only many objects are made. Example, the bucket, plastic bucket, plastic tumbler, plastic lunch box, plastic water bottle. Right? So material is only one, that is the plastic. But from plastic many objects are made. Right? So that is what said in this last paragraph. Now supposing an object could also be made of many materials. Now single object can be made of many materials. Again I will like to give an example of bucket. Well, bucket may be made up of either plastic or metal. Supposing let us take tumbler. Tumbler may be made up of glass or plastic or any other material or any other metal. What decides which material should be used? sorry, should be used for making any given object. It seems that we need to know more about different materials. Properties of materials. Here comes the properties of materials, which decides that which material should be used in making of what things, of which things. So let us study. Have you ever wondered why a tumbler is not made with a piece of cloth? Recall our experiments with pieces of cloth in chapter 3 and also keep in mind that we generally use a tumbler to keep a liquid. Therefore, would it not be silly if we were to make a tumbler out of cloth? What we need for a tumbler is glass, plastics, metal, or such other material that will hold water. Similarly, it would not be wise to use paper-like materials for cooking vessels. Well, children, here as you can see a girl in figure 4.2 using a cloth tumbler. Well, children, do you know what is tumbler? Yes, any vessel that can hold liquid is known as tumbler. Very simple example I can give you is, you might be having it in your bathroom, in your washroom, with a plastic bucket and a plastic tumbler. But children, have you ever thought that if we make this tumbler, if instead of using this plastic tumbler, cannot we use a tumbler made up of cloth? Can we use it? No. Why? Because the cotton and the tumbler that is made up of cloth will not be able to hold the water. See here, this girl is having this cloth tumbler, is holding the cloth tumbler and pouring some liquid in it. Let us take, she is pouring water in this cloth tumbler, and as you can see here, water is falling out. जैसे आप देख सकते हैं, जो पानी है वो बाहर निकल रहा है, किसमें से? ये क्लॉथ टम्बलर में से. सो what we need is, we have to use such type of material that can hold the water. जो पानी को अपने अंदर होल्ड कर सकता है, ऐसे मटेरियल को ही हम टम्बलर के लिए यूज़ कर सकते हैं. एंड दैट मटेरियल इज ऑफ प्लास्टिक. Now children, similarly, we cannot use cloth for the tumbler. In the same manner, we also cannot use the material like paper to cook as our cooking vessels. Yes बच्चों, कभी आपने सोचा है अगर हम कागज़ के vessels यूज़ करते हैं खाना बनाने के लिए तो क्या हो सकता है? What will happen if we use the cooking vessels that are made up of paper? हाँ चिल्ड्रन, कैन एनीबडी से मी? कैन एनीबडी टेल क्या हो सकता है? यस, डेफिनेटली that paper will burn. The vessels that are made up of paper like materials will soon start burning, so it is not used for cooking purpose. Am I clear everybody? Yes. Now below the figure 4.2 we will start. We see then that we choose a material to make an object depending on its properties and then the purpose for which the object is to be used. Well children, we choose the material on the basis about its properties and also for the purpose, for what purpose are we using that object. Yes, everybody is having pencil in their hands. You have to underline as it is seen. So what are all the properties of materials that could be important for their usage? Some properties are discussed here. So children, now अभी हम लोग ये कैसे मतलब ऐसे डिसाइड करें कि भाई हाँ इस मटेरियल से ही ये चीज़ बननी चाहिए और दिस मटेरियल must be used or this thing should be used for any specific thing. Let us take an example. As I said, this tumbler, the plastic tumbler, this tumbler must be made of plastic only. It must not be made of cotton. Why? Because tumbler is having the property to hold water, right? So now this depends on some of the properties, well, that are shown here. The first one is the appearance. Appearance, that are the looks. Materials usually look different from each other. Wood looks very different from iron. Iron appears different from copper or aluminium. At the same time, there may be some similarities between iron, copper and aluminium that are not there in wood. Well children, here appearance, that means looks. Well, let us give me a very simple example. Your school bag, uh, take a water bottle, take your school bag, books and lunch box. Now just look at them. Do they all look the same? Do your school bag looks like your books, or the water bottle and lunch box looks same like your school bag? No? Well, you are right. So everything looks different. Or children, do the bench looks the same like your school bag? No. The benches are made up of wood. Your school bag is made up of leather. Your books are made up of wood. And water bottle and lunch box. Water bottle may be made up of plastic or any other metal. Same way your lunch box is also made up of either plastic or some any other metal. Materials usually look different from each other. Wood looks very different from iron. Well children, iron also looks very different from wood. Even iron appears different from copper or aluminium. Do you know children what is copper? Copper is a shiny yellowish material. Aluminium is also a type of metal same like copper and steel. At the same time, there may be some similarities between iron, copper and aluminium that are not there in wood. So children, iron, copper and aluminium, they are the metals. They are considered as metals, while wood is not considered as metal. Now comes activity 3. Collect small pieces of different materials: paper, cardboard, wood, copper wire, aluminium sheet, chalk. Do any of these appear shiny? Separate the shiny materials into a group. Now children, what you have to do is we have to collect small pieces of wood, paper, cardboard, copper wire, aluminium sheet, chalk, etc. etc. things. Now what you have to do is you have to look which of these are having shiny surface. Well children, what I think is this aluminium sheet might be having the shiny surface. The copper wire is also having shiny surface. All these things you have seen. Paper, it does not have shiny surface. Even cardboard is not having the shiny surface, and wood is also not having the shiny surface. Now what you have to do is you have to observe this thing. You have to cut this aluminium sheet, but that is not possible for us. So you just watch the aluminium vessels that are at your home. The copper wire is also having shiny luster. Luster, that is the synonym for the shiny surface. Do you notice such a shine or luster in the other materials? Cut them anyway as you can. Repeat this in the class with as many materials as possible and make a list of those with and without luster. Instead of cutting, you can also rub the surface of material with sandpaper to see if it has luster. So here children, luster, that means the shiny surface. Now we'll often lose their shine and appear dull because of the action of air and moisture on them. We therefore notice the luster only on their freshly cut surface. When you visit an ironsmith or a workshop, look out for freshly cut surfaces of metals rods to see if they have luster. So children, here the metals that are the materials that have the shiny surfaces, the luster, that are known as metals. That means metals usually have luster, or the materials, or it can be said that the materials that have luster are known as metals. Some examples are given here: iron, copper, aluminium, gold. They are the examples of metals. Why are they called metals? Because they have luster. So they are known as metals. And children, some metals may have luster. They may not shine, but they might have lost their shine because of the reaction of air and moisture on them. So, we therefore notice the luster only on the freshly cut surface. And now, that was about the first point, that was the appearance, the look. Now comes the second point, that is the hardness. When you press, well children, you are having pencil in your hand, you just try to press the pencil. Yes, press करो पेंसिल को. Can you compress it? No. Now, after this session is over, you take cotton in your hand and try to press the cotton or the pillow. Try to press the pillow. Compress हो सकता है वो? Yes. So that we will study here in this second point, hardness. The second property of the materials. When you press different materials with your hand, some of them may be hard to compress while others can be easily compressed. Take a metal key and try to scratch with it. The surface of a piece of wood, aluminium, a piece of stone, a nail, candle, chalk, any other material or object. You can easily scratch some materials while some cannot be scratched so easily. Materials which can be compressed or scratched easily are called soft, while some other materials which are difficult to compress are called hard. For example, cotton or sponge is soft while iron is hard. In appearance, materials can have different properties like luster, hardness, be rough or smooth. Can you think of other properties that describe the appearance of a material? Well children, the first property we saw was appearance and the second one is hardness. As I said, try to compress, try to press and try to compress means अपने हाथ में जो पेंसिल है ना उसको आप दबाने की कोशिश करना. एंड हियर इट इज़ सेड दैट यू हैव टू टेक अ की, जो चाबी है आपके घर में उसको आप लो एंड ट्राई टू स्क्रैच विथ इट द सर्फेस ऑफ ए पीस ऑफ वुड, एल्यूमिनियम, पीस ऑफ स्टोन, नेल, कैंडल, चॉक और एनी अदर मटीरियल. वेल चिल्ड्रन, अगर इन सब मटीरियल्स पे आप लोग वो चाबी से स्क्रैच करोगे ना तो सम मटीरियल्स विल बी स्क्रैच्ड एंड अदर्स may not be scratched so easily, and some materials can be compressed or scratched. The materials that can be scratched or compressed easily are called soft materials. Example I gave is cotton. And the some materials that cannot be either scratched easily or compressed easily, that type of materials are known as hard material. Right? So example of the soft one is cotton or sponge. The example of hard material is iron. So children, we have discussed here about the appearance and hardness of the material. So now we'll continue the same in next session. That will be the solubility, the floating and the transparency of the materials. Till then, read this chapter, try to understand and read it twice. Okay, bye, take care everybody.